The FM23 winter update is here, and with that comes a whole new bunch of Wonderkids and also some that have been upgraded since the last version of the game. So in today's video, I'll be showing 10 Wonderkids who have had huge jumps in their potential ranges, are much better than they were before, and that you should definitely be keeping an eye out for in your next save. We've got loads of videos coming up about the winter update, so make sure you subscribe to the channel, like this video if you get some use, and let's get in to player number 1. The first upgrade we have is for Liverpool's new talent Stefan Bajcetic, who has made his way into the first team this year. He can play as that defensive midfielder where Fabinho usually plays, and I believe that's where he's been playing for Liverpool in real life. In FM terms, he can also play centre-back naturally, and he has a bunch of great attributes. In terms of his upgrade, he can now have a potential ability of somewhere between 150 and 180. He's been boosted to have a range that high. In this case, look, if we take a look at him, his potential range here is 167, which falls within the range. He's been upgraded massively in terms of the heights that he can reach. A very good player physically, 5'10", really good technical attributes, and he's got the mentals to back it up as well. You could see why his transfer valuation is so high there. Already considered a very good player, only 17 as well, plenty of years to get better, and I'm sure in your saves he will become a big part of Liverpool's first team going forward, particularly with their midfield issues, and some of them, Milner, Henderson, getting fairly old in there, Keita, Oxlade-Chamberlain on the end of their deals. Stefan Bajcetic has got a great chance of becoming a great player. I've probably butchered his pronunciation of his name, but he has had a huge improvement. Now let's move on to player number 2. None of these players I'm going to mention are new to the game. They've all been upgraded, but I can't say personally I have heard of Eliesse Ben Seghir before. He was in the Wonderkid list previously, but now he can be an elite player, again with that potential range of 150 to 180. He's a French player in Monaco's under-19s. He can play as an attacking midfielder, 5'8", 17 years of age, and brilliant technical attributes. Fantastic on the ball, some nice mental attributes as well, and physically he's very agile and quick in the middle of the park. A really nice passer as well. He's someone that can definitely turn into a great player. I mean, purely based on these attributes, you can see the talent he could have. He's already at a level that many would be at 21, 22, and he can be picked up for about £20 million in this save, which is pretty good considering in this save his potential has fallen at 171, between that 150 to 180 range, and unless I mention otherwise, everyone that I'm about to cover is still in that potential range of 150 to 180, so a huge increase for this guy. Definitely someone to keep an eye on in the future. Another brilliant French talent coming through. They're going to have a national team that dominates for years. Now let's move on to player number 3. And if you're a fan of the Premier League, this one may not surprise you. He has had a big upgrade. It is Evan Ferguson of Brighton, who has became, at the age of 17-18, their starting striker this season. Before we take a look at him though, I'd like to let you guys know I do have my own channel linked in the description down below, so if you could come check that out, I'd massively appreciate it. We're just about to hit 15k subs at the time of a recording, so any help towards that goal will massively help. We've got one-off rebuilds on there. We've also got a Let's Play series with Aberdeen, and also Wonderkids you may not have heard of in the form of YouTube shorts. So come check that out if you'd like. I really think you'd enjoy it. And don't forget, if you are getting use out of this video, then smash the like button for us. But Evan Ferguson here, a young Irish striker who will be a massive part of their national side going forward, has everything it takes to be a beast in Football Manager because his physical attributes are off the chart already. He's 6'2" at only 17, and those physicals are going to get so much better. Really good mental attributes as well, a brilliant finisher, good in the air, good technique, also good with his long shots, a nice first touch, actually isn't too bad with his left foot either. Brighton have been crying out for a good striker for a while, and Evan Ferguson could certainly fit that mould. He's only going to get better, and he could be a top player in your team, but there's a reason why Brighton are valuing him so highly. Such a great talent, guaranteed to score goals and guaranteed to be great in your save. Definitely worth checking him out. On to player number 4, a Chelsea player like the shirt that I'm wearing today. Even though they're not doing very well in real life, they've had a few Wonderkid upgrades, and stick with us in this list because towards the end there's a brilliant one that I want to show you. One that I think is going to be a lot of people's first choice in the position that he plays in from now on going forward. But we're looking here at Datro Fofana, who has joined recently from Molde, and I think he's had one start up front for Chelsea in the league, and he's slowly being brought into the team. It's going to take a while, but straight away he is physically an absolute unit. He's got everything that he needs. He's also got great dribbling, finishing and first touch, strong mentally as well. Obviously you're not going to be able to sign him for a while. He's only just signed from Chelsea, but he's very promising, and in most of your saves now, he'll go on to be a world-class striker. Even though he already did before, he's got an even better chance of it now with that potential range increase. He can play as a striker or on right wing or even as an inside forward on the left. Lots of great young talent at Chelsea, and Fofana could be one of the very best in your saves. This one is a good increase for the player, but maybe not great news for FM fans. This is Ivan Fresneda, who plays for Valladolid out in the Spanish divisions. He's always been a great player this year, but he's got a much bigger potential range now, and if I remember right, these seem like much better attributes than what he used to have. 17, and he's being linked with some of the top clubs in world football. It's been a breakout season for him. The only issue is he used to have a release clause of under $1 million. Now it's gone up to 26 million, at least in this save, so it's very, very high for him. He is a great player, don't get me wrong, but at that kind of price, it might be worth waiting a little bit. Although to be this good at 17 with plenty of potential wouldn't be the worst deal in the world, paying 25 mil for him, because right back would then be sorted for years to come. He's tall, good technically and physically, but then mentals are impeccable for a 17-year-old. Clearly someone that's going to be a big part of Spain's national side. Sign him before it's too late and he will be a top draw player for you. I think a lot of us saw this one coming. A lot of Man U fans will say it's been a long time coming. It did feel like he was written off a little bit at the start of this Football Manager. However, he's had a huge increase now, and Alejandro Garnacho, the Argentinian wonderkid for Manchester United, has had a big increase. This guy is electric in terms of his pace. He's great on that left-hand side, can dribble well and finish. He's proved that this season for Man U. He's valued extremely highly. Unless you're a huge club, it's going to be very hard to get him off Manchester United's hands. I'm sure they're going to give him a bigger contract than what he has here currently that's expiring in 2024, but definitely one to keep an eye on. Again, he's had that potential range increase between 150 and 180. In this case, he's already at 137 current ability with 166 potential at the age of only 17. That's an incredible number, and he'll tear it up on that left-hand side for you, and is guaranteed to be a star in your saves now. We're getting close to another one of my favourites, but it's another Premier League player here who's been upgraded, and he is just phenomenal. I know he's been a great wonderkid for years as Willie Gnonto, or Wilfried Gnonto to give him his full name, but Leeds fans absolutely love this kid, and the FM scouts clearly do as well, because he is electric up front. Great acceleration, agility, balance, naturally fit with brilliant dribbling, great finishing and first touch, brilliant technique as well. This guy is the future of the Italian national team in FM, a top draw player, and there's a reason his transfer valuation is so high here in this save. What a star he is, someone that can be so good now in FM. If he wasn't already, he's now going to be one of the best striking options in the world. He's only getting better, already capped for the Italian national team. They've made sure that he'll stick with them instead of playing for the Ivory Coast now. But he is someone that's now moved into that high bracket of wonderkids, and make sure you stick around on the channel because we're going to do a video on the newest wonderkids, players that didn't exist before the update, and plenty of other content to do with the winter update, so make sure you're subscribed to the channel. But let's move on to our final 3 players now I think we've got left. It is 3 players that have been upgraded, all of which are playing in England, but this guy is in the 2nd division. It's Bristol City's Alex Scott. Now, he's been great for a couple of years. I did a wonderkid to superstar on him last year. This year he's been a great option, but now, after great performances in real life, his potential range has been increased. He's being linked with a lot of the top clubs in England now. 18 years of age and playing regularly for Bristol City. I believe before he was classed as potentially a right back and a right winger. Now it seems like the game's saying he's natural in the middle of the park. Maybe I'm getting that wrong, but I feel like that was the case. But either way, he can play defensive midfield, central midfield, or attacking midfield. Great technical ability, really good physicals, but his mentals are also great with phenomenal determination. One of the cheapest players on this list, and considering he's at Bristol City, there's a good chance if you're a Premier League side, you can pick him up and make him a huge part of your team. I'm a massive fan of his. Alex Scott, check him out if you haven't already. It seems like all of the best wonderkids are making their way to England at the minute, and that is going to be the case for the final 2 players. 2 fairly well-known players, both playing for the same club, who have been upgraded massively. The first one is Moises Caicedo. Now, this is completely different to the other players who have had an increase to have a potential range of 150 to 180. Instead, Caicedo here has had his potential range fixed at a number, which is 175. So in every save, he can reach that number. He's currently 148 current ability, which is nuts for a player who is only 20. The Ecuadorian is guaranteed to be world-class pretty much. You really can't go wrong with him. He's already at about 150 current ability. He could get even higher. He'll be one of the best midfielders in the world, and in terms of ability, in FM terms, he's probably already about there anyway. Physically completely dominant, great tackler, brilliant passer. It's like Kante reborn really here. At the age of 20 to have 28 international caps is exceptional. Brighton value him very highly. If you remember in the transfer window, it seemed like he just decided he was going to leave, put out a post, and it didn't end up happening. Chelsea, Arsenal both being linked, and I'm sure there'll be a big move in his future, but for right now, he's tearing it up at Brighton. He's doing a great job, and he is a top draw player, and he's going to be guaranteed to be one of the best in your save. If you're a Real Madrid, Man City, PSG, he's the kind of player you want to go for. But the final one is my favourite one. As a Chelsea fan, there's been a lot of talk about Levi Colwill as being the next Reece James, Mason Mount, even though some of you might laugh at Mason Mount. In terms of a low-knee player that was guaranteed really to make it into the first team at some point, Levi Colwill is seen as one of the best young centre-backs in England. Took him a while to get going at Brighton on loan, but he started playing, and even though he wasn't great in FM before, he's had a huge increase now. Much like Caicedo, he now has a guaranteed potential of 170. He's had a huge increase in his current ability. These attributes look far better than before, and he'll go on to be an England starting centre-back with ease, will Levi Colwill now. 19 years of age, a left-footed ball-playing defender, perfect modern centre-back really, great physical attributes, really composed as well. You can't go wrong, and in terms of ball-playing defenders, he is the one you want to get. Chances are, once he finishes his loan, Chelsea will decide to keep him and play him, but if not, and somehow he ends up on the loan list or the transfer list, he's definitely worth going for. In terms of potential rating boost, he's had one of the best in this winter update. He's had a huge jump, but actually I've just realised he's not the final player. I'm going to give you a bonus 11th player that I forgot to speak about, who is already great but is now top draw. It is PSG's 17-year-old French centre-back Eliesse Ben Seghir, who again I did a Wonderkid to superstar on last year. In terms of physical monster centre-backs, he's everything you could want. He doesn't have a passing range of Colwill, but he has got that physical dominant nature in the air. 6'5" at the age of 17, 16 jumping reach, 15 heading, left-footed as well, and he's now what we call a -9 player, which means he has a potential range of 150 to 180. In this case here, in this save, 161. So this is on the lower side in terms of what you can get, but when he develops, he can be an amazing centre-back, £10 million or so. What a player. But there you go, that's our top 10 upgraded Wonderkids from the winter update. We're going to do plenty more videos on the winter update coming up. New Wonderkid to superstars coming, new Wonderkid videos, plenty to talk about. So make sure you keep your eyes locked on the channel. Check out my channel linked in the description. Like the video if you enjoyed, but most of all, have a great day everyone. Enjoy the winter update and I'll see you next time. Thank you and goodbye.